Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yadkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. To live in this world and to perform any activity, there is a requirement of knowledge. Without knowing, doing is not possible. Anything we want to do, I should know. I should know what I want. I should know how I can get it. I should know whether I am eligible to get it or not. I should know what all I need to go through to achieve it. I should know what time frame I will get that. So there are lots of information required, lot of knowledge required, so that I can do anything. We all are living in this world. We all are trying to remain happy as much as possible. We all want more and more happiness. We want to live a life of harmony. At least that's what we want. We may not be doing it, but we want a life of harmony. We want to be happy now and forever. We want to be infinitely happy. But the question is, do we know how is it possible? Do we know the way of achieving that? Do we know if we are eligible to achieve that? Are we qualified? What does it take? What kind of effort is required? What is the time frame that is needed? Do I have so much time? Do I have the ability? What is the path? What would be the achievement like? Are there any obstacles on the path? What are the ways of overcoming them? So many questions. Do we know all these answers? So to understand these answers, which are very much related to ourselves, we need the scriptures, Shastra. Whenever we buy any product from the market, a gadget, an appliance, anything, it always comes with certain instructions. Sometimes it is a big manual, sometimes it's just a leaflet, and sometimes the instructions are printed on the box itself, or sometimes there is something kept inside. You see instructions. What does that leaflet or manual say? It tells us how to make use of that product to gain maximum happiness. Right? What else does it say? You have this product and you have purchased it to be happy. How to make use of this product so that you can achieve that goal of being happy. That's what all manuals say. Washing machine. So it will tell you at first unbox it. You won't get happiness if it is still inside in mint condition with the tapes on. I don't want to open it. Otherwise, I have to keep it safe. It will not give you the happiness that you intend to have. Some people are very careful and take care of their umbrella. I don't take it out in rains, Otherwise it gets wet. Protect your umbrella. And why did you buy? So there has to be, you have a purpose in mind. But that is why on the umbrella packet also they have to write. You have to open it in rain and stand under it. Don't protect it inside your shirt when it is raining. Because umbrella is supposed to protect you from rain. Whereas if you have a laptop, you don't put it on your head during rain. You try to protect it from rain. There is a difference between each thing. You have to know how to use every appliance, every instrument, every gadget. You cannot use everything the same way. Everyone is different. So each one has its own. Even a toffee, if you buy, tiny, tiny letters, it is written. Open the wrapper. What is inside, that only put in your mouth. And then number 3, enjoy. After that you enjoy. Don't forget that. You have bought this for that one. So all these things have a manual which helps us to understand how to make use of this to derive maximum happiness. We're all born into this world, the entire creation. We have certain instruments through which we experience this world. Who will give us the knowledge of these instruments and the world and how to contact the world through these instruments in order to derive maximum happiness? So the manual of life are the scriptures to tell us how to make use of these instruments to contact the world outside in order to gain maximum happiness. This body of knowledge, which gives us this information and empowers us to gain this happiness, are called Veda. Veda word itself means knowledge. Veda does not mean a book or a set of books. Veda means knowledge. Now, what is this knowledge? Where is it coming from? Veda was not written by, composed by, created by any individual. Veda Vyasa did not write the Vedas. He did not write. Oh, then why is he called Veda Vyasa? Veda, the body of knowledge, was always discovered. Discovered by whom? Now, who makes discoveries? Scientists. Discoveries are made by scientists. So, Gurudev calls our ancient Rishis as the scientists of the inner world, subjective scientists. So, these scientists, delving deep into the inner world, discovered many things. Discovered the secrets of nature, secrets of the creation, and the secrets of the world within oneself. And we have to understand this, the state of mind when discoveries happen. Sometimes you may always know something, you must have read so many times, but then in places like this, when you have an opportunity to stay away from all the usual mundane things, and at some point, something just clicks. That moment. What is the state of mind when something like that happens or can happen? That time is when our mind is totally in tune with the totality. It is in harmony with the entire creation. Greater the harmony, deeper the discoveries. We all have studied about various scientists of the modern scientists of today's science. So we know a few names also. Newton. He discovered gravity, gravitational force. He discovered. Okay. Although he was not the first one to discover. But he discovered. Okay. When did he discover? We know the story. He was sitting under a tree and then one apple fell on his head and he discovered gravity. How many people would have had apples fall on their head? Even Newton, if he was sitting under an apple tree, was that the first time he sat under the apple tree? He would have sat under that apple tree so many times before. Even previous day, 24 hours ago, he would have sat there. And maybe an apple must have fallen on his head the previous day. But previous day, the gravity was not discovered. Why that day, that moment only it had to be discovered? What was so special? Was gravity not there before? If it was discovered, means it was always there. So what was so special? That day, his mind was in complete harmony with the nature, with totality. And he was in that contemplative mode. This happened. Archimedes he used to bathe every day, right? Maybe he used to bathe once in a month, but he used to bathe. He knew what is bathing means. He must have gone through that experience before also, right? What was so special about that day? Every day he would be getting into the bathtub and every day there would be water falling out, right? What was so special about that day? His mind was in tune with the laws of the nature. And Eureka! Same thing happened every day. Does it not happen with us also? You put the mug inside a bucket full of water, there will be water coming out. But any of us discovered by even think of it at that time? We are thinking about how to get ready soon and catch the bus. Quick. Who is thinking about all these things? Archimedes also, when he was thinking about it, he did not discover by himself. It was only when he just got in that contemplation, it got discovered. There are so many examples. Although all these people were not the first ones to discover, but they should be given credit that they were in that contemplative mode on that particular day and occasion when this discovery could happen. So they are the Rishis of modern science. So our subjective scientists, the Rishis, they also, it was a common lifestyle. Nowadays, what is a fad? What are the meditation? What meditation do you do? We do tea meditation. Means without tea, no meditation. I want tea every morning. Tea meditation. Oh, we do Z meditation. Where? Zzz. There are so many. We do this kind of meditation. We do that. It become a fashion. Meditation is not a verb. It is not something to be done. It is our most natural state. We can't call it a state also, because state also comes and goes. If it is a natural thing, it doesn't come and go. It's always there. To get established in that is the attempt of meditation. And we don't even know what is that to get established. It was a common lifestyle of the Rishis, where contemplation used to happen. Common lifestyle. Right from the beginning, they were in harmony with the creation. You know, the greatest casualty in today's life, whatever so many facilities and technological advancements we have seen, and we are very comfortable. You know, even in the Himalayas, we are sitting here with all the comforts. No doubt, it is all thanks to the advancements in science and technology. Very good. But a very great casualty in this process is we have lost our harmony with nature. Back in the day when there was no electricity, were we not completely in sync with nature? Think about it. We were rising with the sun and sleeping with the sun. Like the birds. Have we ever heard of birds having any abnormalities? Like, yes, they may have some birth defects, genetical problem, all that may be there. But abnormalities, like we find in human beings these days. Any bird died out of depression. This bird was really... Our pets do. Our pets have depression. Because they are after all living with us. This rubs off on them. But otherwise left. See, whenever there has been a great natural calamity, whether it's an earthquake or a tsunami or any such thing, we all have heard, read that these animals, birds and all, they are so sensitive, they know it's coming. So whoever was free, they ran, they flew. And those who were tied by us, poor things, they kept on making a lot of noise. That release us, you will never come to know, but we know it. So they all got to know how. You must have heard in your own family, your grandparents or great grandparents, that they knew when death was coming to them. They themselves had indicated, next week I am not going to be there. You must have heard these stories in your own family, your own grandparents or great grandparents, your own. How did they know? In recent generations, we don't find such things. You don't know. There are false alarms. There was one gentleman who suddenly said, I am not going to live beyond 3 days. So he actually called his family, poor family, everyone came thinking very seriously. And then he stopped eating. But now I will not eat also because I am going so hungry. He did all these things. Elderly gentleman. I met him. I also was taken. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not making it up. I was taken there. This was about 8-9 years ago, I think. When they spoke to him, I told him also, anyway, if you say you're going to go, eat, no, eat and go. No. And the family was concerned. He said that even if he was not destined to go, he is forcing himself to go. So they were trying to poke him, and they said, okay, we accept whatever. He's still alive. Actually. And very healthy. Still going with farming and everything. He's still doing all those things. Still alive. But those generations, it was there. It was very natural for them. Harmony. So that's the reason. These are the occasions when we try and be in the real world in harmony. Try to be as much as possible. I'm not saying electricity is bad. I'm not saying technology is bad. It has its own blessings. But this was a great strength, which still we have it in us. But it's all covered. It has to be discovered. So, these Rishis, who are constantly in harmony with the totality, they could actually see, actually experience these secrets, these truths of the creation, of themselves, of this art of right contact, of this gaining infinite happiness. And whatever they saw, whatever they experienced, they taught it to the students. Now just imagine if Archimedes had to teach the principle of buoyancy to his student at that moment when he was running naked in the marketplace. That time 4 students came and said, "Oh Guru, Eureka, you have discovered, please give us the knowledge." How would he have spoken? His speech would have been coherent, grammatically correct. In bits and pieces, broken language, here and there some words, with a lot of that exhilaration, joy, just, such a great principle. This is what we do that. Is it not natural? You discover something. What happened when you went into Ganga's? What is happening? What happened? Bas. But what happened? Tell me. No words, but is it not communicating? Then the other person who is not understanding a word of what you're saying, because there was no words, then that person goes in. And then what does that person say? Same. And then now you understand each other very well. This is what you're saying. Children also, there's fire or sometimes a plug point. And you have to tell them, if you say you'll get an electric shock, what will the child understand? Okay. Child doesn't understand what it means, but stays away because the expression is a little bit, but the child is still curious. puts, let me see what does mean, and then puts. Then the child tells everybody else, don't do. Why? Now the child knows what it is speaking. This is exactly what the Veda is. Sometimes grammatically, we may not understand how the sentence has to be constructed. Sometimes, so much of words have to be added into that naturally because they are not speaking in that. They are in a different realm of discovery. So this Veda, these Rishis, in that contemplative realm, whatever they discovered, they taught to their disciples. The disciples in turn took that information, had complete faith, but did not stop there. They went ahead, their lifestyle also was matching as their gurus. They also went ahead and discovered the same truths. Means verified those truths by direct experience. They themselves also saw this. This is what is a lineage of Rishis or Rishi Parampara. They got the knowledge, they themselves walked the path, experienced and verified that knowledge, and further passed it to the next generation. This is the Rishi Parampara. This has been unbroken. And this is how this Vedic knowledge has come down. Now, this Veda is not just religion or philosophy. You have to understand, Veda is all about the entire universe. It includes all possible subjects that exist in the world. Everything. Geology, yes. Sociology, yes. Zoology, yes. Physics, yes. Economics, yes. Political science, yes. All this is part of the world. Everything is there. Every field of knowledge is there in Veda. And because it is discovered knowledge, discovered in a state of complete harmony with the totality, it is authentic. This authenticity of Veda is what makes it very, very important. It is not written by a human being. It is not created, because if it's a human creation, it will have limitations. Anything that we create will have its own limitations. It may be just a perspective. Nowadays, what comes in a newspaper or news when we read? What is it? Do you think whatever you read has happened? May not have happened the way it is described. Why? Because someone has perceived it or heard about it and then written. You create travel blogs. What do you write or what do you speak on a video? What do you? It is your perspective. Is it absolute? After seeing your blog or reading your blog, if I go and want to experience the same thing, will it be exactly the same thing? Not necessarily. Because you have given your perspective. It is not absolute. Whereas, if you are in that contemplative mode, and if you are in sync with the surroundings, and then you experience something, and you tell me that you also be in sync, you will experience exactly the same. It will be exactly the same. That is what is the difference. It's not a perspective. It is what it is. So these rishis, they discovered this knowledge, and this entire body of knowledge is considered authentic because it was discovered in a realm where the individual itself was not there. If I was there, I would not have discovered. If Archimedes, the man, was there in the bathtub, buoyancy would not have been discovered. Because he was aware of himself. So he was not available for the miracle that was happening around him every day. Similarly, if I am so aware and conscious about myself, my body, my mind, me, then I cannot discover, I will not notice the miracles that are happening around me. And that's the reason when we come to places like Uttarkashi, we live in the vicinity of Mahatmas like Swami Tapovan Maharaj. That is when we say, oh, it's a miracle. You know, such a miracle happened. And we say, this such miracles happen at your home also. No, Swamiji. Here only it happens. Here you are noticing it. Why? Because your mind is tuned up. Back home, you are not noticing. It's happening. We are not paying attention. So much of consciousness about ourselves. I have to do this. I have to look like this. I have to be like this. I have to. So much of pressure getting. Where is the time to notice things? Have you ever wondered when the sun rises, the lotus starts blossoming? How? What is the correlation? No, everything blossoms when the sun rises. Then what about the lilies? They blossom when the sun sets. And on sunrise they close. Why? What is this? Is it not a miracle? We, with so much of GPS, we get lost on roads. These birds migrate thousands of miles every year and never miss the path and get back home after the season without any difficulty. Is it not a miracle? I decide I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and sleep, and next morning, 2 minutes before my alarm goes on, I wake up. Is it not a miracle? I said I wake up. I didn't say I get up. Because if you get up, it is another level of miracle. But you wake up only to snooze. 4 o'clock. Now it is only 3:58. Alarm will 4 o'clock only I have to wake up. I should not waste these 2 minutes. Go back. So this, the knowledge of the Vedas is authentic. And this authentic knowledge is in Sanskrit called as pramanam. Valid means of knowledge. Praman. Any knowledge is gained by praman. You need means to gain knowledge. What is the color of carpet that you are all sitting on? Red. Don't go into shades and all. Red. Now red. How did you know it is red? How do you know? Most important, I saw. Okay. I see, I know it is red. Okay. So I see, I recognized it is red. Recognized it is red. But how did I cognize that it is red? Recognize. Means I already knew this is red, and when I saw, I recognized that it is red. But how did I cognize the first time? Somebody told me this is called red. And then I said, and next time I see anything of this color, I say this is called red. So what are the two means? One, direct perception, and other, somebody's word. Right? Two things. Now, this direct perception, we are only getting familiarized with few Sanskrit terms. Okay? This direct perception is called pratyaksha pramana. Means of knowledge. If I want to know whether a flower is real or artificial, what do I do? Seeing, will it tell me? It may tell me, but it may not be valid. Because sometimes the artificial flowers also look so natural. And sometimes natural flowers also, if they're exotic types of flowers, they look like it's plastic. But they're actually real. So, seeing may not be valid. They may tell you a little bit, but then it may not be valid. Okay, smelling can tell. But what if there's a perfume or something is put in that artificial chemical? Then that also may not be valid. Then I touch. And after I touch, then do I need any more confirmation? That is called prabala pramana. Prabala means it is the final pramana, nothing greater than that. The validity is established. That is also pratyaksha. But pratyaksha, in pratyaksha also, pratyaksha means direct perception through our senses. And among our senses also, there is one sense which will give me the final confirmative knowledge, and that is prabala pramana. So to know sound, how do I know sound? There is also sense, there is also direct perception, and there is only one means. Can I see and know the sound? I can guess, but it may not be true. So I can't smell. It's very loud. So we know that it is only one sense which will get us that information. So according to the object of knowledge or the field of knowledge, we have to have the means of knowledge also. Okay? Means have to be according to the field. I cannot use the same means to gain knowledge of everything. If color is known by seeing, sound has to be known by hearing only, not by seeing. If smells are known by smelling, I cannot know it by touching. So, according to the field of knowledge, I have to have the means of knowledge. Clear so far? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.